I stopped by my rental house in Blandinsville to check on the damage after the derecho storm the other day, and as soon as I arrived, I found that my carport is not here anymore. And I was kind of stumped. There was a carport here before, and I can tell something happened to it because it looks like it got smashed up against the side of the gutters. But as for the carport itself, it wasn't anywhere around here. So I looked over across the street. No sign of it over there. And I started thinking, well, maybe it's on the other side of the house, but that doesn't make much sense. And I thought, well, maybe it got smashed up and went into the road, and maybe the crew had to remove it to get emergency vehicles through. I wasn't sure. So I started kind of wandering around. And of course, did not see it on this side of the house either. I didn't expect I would. But I still went around and checked everything anyway. The wildflowers that I planted last year got kind of torn up, but they were still standing. And this big spruce tree that I thought if any tree fell, this would be one of the two that might. It was fine. So I looked out over these other trees that I planted here recently, and they were still fine. These oak trees I planted a year ago. No broken branches on them. And these smaller oak trees I planted here a couple months ago. They're all twigs, but they're still doing just fine. This end one had kind of a dent in the wire cage I'd set up, but the tree was okay. This silver maple always drops lots of limbs during every storm, and I thought that storm would snap this tree in half, but it didn't do anything to it, really. Nothing more than normal. My neighbor wasn't so lucky with this tree, though. That one pretty much got snapped in two. So I figured I'd go over and talk to my neighbor on the other side here and see if he knew anything about my carport. So I wandered through the backyard, and wow, that looks kind of familiar. I guess that's my carport. You gotta be kidding me. Yeah, this is my carport. Didn't have a hole in it before. Like a giant crane just dropped it out of the sky right here. I can't even believe it. So here's a closer look at how the carport was attached to the ground with these steel rods. Wow.